Well, hello, my name is Charlie Rattigan. I am, by anybody's imagination, an amateur baker. I've made bread for many years, and over the last several years, I've made it my goal to make a pizza that I thought was excellent and that also appealed to my family. And I've done a fair amount of investigation and research. I read a number of really significant books and taken a couple classes. But the most significant class I took was on a trip to Rome, where we went to Trastevere, and had a pizza class. And it was one of the most illuminating things that I'm going to try and actually pass that information on to you. A friend of mine once said, well, it's easy to watch an expert, they've had practice. I don't make pizzas that often, but I do have some strategies, and I'd like to impart that to you. So the first thing we're going to do, actually, is we're going to make the dough. This recipe is from the lesson I had in Italy. So 300 grams of double aught flour. Put that in the mixing bowl. 180 grams of water. Again, 60% hydration. A scant 3/4 of a teaspoon, which is about a gram of yeast. All right, next is 7 grams of salt and 10 grams of extra virgin olive oil. Now, there are a lot of varieties of pizza dough recipes. This is the one that I've found to be the most appealing and the easiest, really, to prepare.
Sounds good.
All right, and now we're going to knead it up in the mixer. So we're going to attach the dough hook, raise it up. I'm going to do this for about 5 minutes. And the secret here is it will pull away from the sides. The temptation may be to add more flour or more water, but don't do that. These proportions are perfect. Yeah, so you can see that the dough has incorporated nearly all of it from the edges. It's a pretty good indication that it's ready. So I'm going to simply shut this off, lower this down, take the dough hook off, take this out, and let's take that off the hook. And while you don't want to add a lot of flour, it's all right to, just add a couple of dollops, make it a little easier to handle and bring it out. And here we are. It's magical in my mind, the transformation that flour and water and salt and yeast and oil make. It's really just quite lovely. It's slightly tacky, but not very much. And you can do a little bit of more kneading, after you take it out. I would suggest actually going on YouTube, finding some kneading strategies. You may decide you don't actually want to use a stand mixer. You want to do it by hand. But learning that technique is easy because there's so many really good examples. We've got 500 grams of flour. That's perfect. We'll divide it in half, 250 grams per. It's good for a 10 to 11 inch pizza. And, well, almost 243, 253. I'd like to see if I could get this precise. 250. Shaping, of course. So you want to make a ball. The idea is to get as much air out of the dough as possible. And the reason for doing that is that the yeast is more evenly distributed, and when you take it out to shape it the next morning, it reacts better. It's easier to shape. So that's that one. Let's do this one. Press out the air, roll it. Now there's another strategy some people do, which I kind of like and do on occasion as well, is you gather it all together there at the bottom and roll it. You essentially want that seam to disappear. So it feels pretty good. It looks pretty good. Now, putting it in the refrigerator. The great thing about this recipe is that it can be doubled or tripled. So right here I have two 11-inch pizzas. Just plop it in. Come back in 24 hours. Take them out and get ready to shape. So I've removed the dough from the refrigerator about 24 hours after making it. And I'm going to put it in another container and let it come to room temperature before shaping. About 2 hours is recommended. I have a mix here of Drummond and semolina. I'm just going to flip them over. And letting them come to room temperature will make them easier to stretch, make them more elastic, let the gluten develop further. So that's part of the process. I think that there is some thought that if you don't have 24 hours, you want to do 12 hours or 10 hours, that will work fine. It won't have developed the complexity of flavor, but that's it's time dependent. So here we are. So I made some dough last evening, took it out of the refrigerator a while ago, and it's ready to shape. And as you can see, I've put it into a mix. This is both Drummond and semolina. That was another great tip that I got when I took that class in Italy. The first thing he did is take the dough out and then throw it in the flour, and it made handling it so much easier and simpler. I thought, well, that's brilliant. So let's go ahead and start the shape. Now, one video I saw, the guy said it's like playing the piano. He said you just go, and he said you don't go all the way to the edge because you want to have this bit of a lip. I thought, well, that's terrific. So it's pretty simple to do, and as you can see, it's becoming round already. And all I've done is press my fingers into it. Now, there are a number of techniques, some of which I have not mastered, so I'm not going to try. But one of the great tips I got was watching Chris Bianco, who is this remarkable chef cook. He said, let gravity do the work, but make sure your dough is touching the surface. And you can see already how close we are to getting our final piece. Now, I'm sure you've seen pizza guys and gals use their fists, and they toss it around. Well, it's a great way to stretch it out, and it works. You have to be careful you don't break the surface. Now, this is lovely. I think this is probably about 11 inches, and that's as far as we need to go. This pizza peel, which is wood, and I've put a little semolina and Drummond on it, so it's a lubricant, so that when I want to transfer the pizza to the oven, it'll actually slide off. So the secret is not too much sauce. You don't want the sauce to interfere with the other toppings or the flavor of the dough. And keep it, generally I see the professionals, they keep it away from the edge. Tomatoes from Italy, which I've used my hands to crush. And there we are. Probably enough. I will add the cheese. This is mozzarella. It's been sliced. Nice to use fresh mozzarella, I think, and the quality of it is excellent. It gives an excellent result. Now, what I also like to do is I like to add a bit of oregano. And I've grown oregano, but boy, this is certainly... And I'm going to add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. And I'm going to throw on the thing that makes it a margarita, of course, is the basil leaves. Now, I'm not totally sure what the proper way to do it is. I put it on before, some people put it on after. I think you can decide for yourself what it is you'd like to do, and then do it. The great thing about this is there's a huge amount of opportunity for individuality. Well, there we are, and let's put it in the oven. But there we are. Now this goes quickly, so you have to pay attention. With these ovens, it's important to pay attention because it's going to cook quickly and it's going to be beautiful, but you don't want it to be burnt on one side and not so burnt on the other. Take a look at the bottom. Bottom looking good. All right, my skilled eye says this may be done. So let's find out. Well, there you are. So let's take a look and see what we have here. I think these pizza shears are magical things. All right, so that's kind of the desirable appearance. And I'll bet you it's going to taste pretty good. Chewy, flavorful, Again, what you put on the top depends on your individual preferences. This is a modified margarita, but sausage, pepperoni, different kinds of cheeses. It's entirely up to your own imagination. But this is what you want. This dough, 24 hours, really, really, really wonderful.